If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the WoW in transmogs.
Yes, indeed, I changed the format, and the reason I did this is just simply so you have direct links going straight to Wowhead, where I always end up referring people to go to anyway. So, if you want to take a look at each individual piece, then you can click on the Wowhead file in the description, and you can also get more ideas, and you can just constantly keep clicking and looking, and put together a whole different set. That's the whole purpose of this. People get ideas, and speaking of ideas, if you have any ideas, transmog that you love, you can send it to me, and if I share your enthusiasm, I will produce it in a video. I might make a few changes. I did produce somebody's xmog here, and I made a couple of changes, but the gist of it, like 80% of it's still intact, and we'll let you know when we get to that particular xmog, because 9 of these are my ideas, 1 of them is not my idea. So just telling you for the record. Now that I look at it, I'm not sure I like the headpiece here. There's a lot of different substitutes that you can make. There's that bronze like head of a wolf that's from like vanilla that you could, I don't know the name, but you could use that piece. Or there's also similar looking pieces as this particular headpiece. But as I look at it now, I kind of changed my mind. Sometimes I just do that. But overall, this is a very unique look for hunters. It really is. It works, but it's still very, very unique. Sometimes people want to look like the class fantasy. Sometimes people don't want to look like the class fantasy. They just want to look unique, and this is one of those looks. I mean, you're not going to be hiding in the forest with this look, okay? You're gonna be spotted. But then again, you know, most raids and most Mythic Pluses are just kind of stand there and shoot them up. But in the BG, you're not going to be able to hide in the weeds in this purposely white look with gold trim. Once again, shooting for a very unique look here, and even though it might not fit the Hunter class fantasy, these are Hunter pieces. Keep that in mind. We got a mix of WoD, the current xpac, which is Shadowlands, obviously really difficult this last tier to migrate or integrate pieces of tier gear in the 9.2 tier for any given class with previous tiers. Just really, really tough. I mean, in the past you were able to do that pretty much, but here I just find it really hard. How about you guys? You find it hard integrating some of the new gear with older xpac pieces? I do. I find it really hard. Not that I don't like it, it's just very different, very unique. Coloring's different, across the board it's different. Speaking of different, yeah, this hits the mark on different. And keep in mind, yeah, these are all Hunter tier pieces, mostly from Warlords and also from Shadowlands. A little bit of MOP too. Believe it or not, I really couldn't find a bow or a gun. Well, actually, I think now that I think of it, I think I can think of a gun from WoD that would go really well with this set. But why not, right? Let's show survival hunters a little bit of love here with this black and red, because it just kind of does look really, really badass and very much survival, I think, especially with that polearm. I think polearm really works well with this overall set. So we're pulling some pieces from Legion, particularly the belt, those are bracers, and the shoulders, and also some pieces from Shadowlands. I don't know where that polearm is from offhand. The cloak here is, I believe, from going back to MOP. So we're basically representing about 2 or 3, a total of about 3 or 4 different xpacs here. But the bulk of this set, as you can see, is a Shaman tier from Legion and also the Venthyr from Shadowlands. Gonna tell you right off the bat, immediately, this is an Alliance only set. Obviously because of the tabard, but also because of the boots. Those are Stormwind boots. But if you're on the Horde side and you find something that you could substitute, I'm sure you could find a tabard. The silver boots, though, with that kind of like gray tint to it's going to be kind of hard, but I'm sure you might be able to find something. So overall, we're showing survival a little bit of love, and I'm really liking this polearm. I'm going to show this polearm again, so it's going to make another appearance. I'm really liking it. Here's a dwarf. He's kind of jacked up on amphetamines or caffeine. This is what happens when dwarves have a little bit too much coffee and just kind of get revved up. Making good use of those wings from, of course, the Kyrian. So a lot of this set is Kyrian. The shoulders are not Kyrian, but the back, the gloves, the chest, and the legs, all Kyrian. So a lot of love going out towards the Kyrian on this one. Gonna give a shout out to Cane Shot, who's the hunter that inspired me to do this. One, I did make a couple of changes though. You have to understand, when someone submits a transmog, they're submitting something usually from pieces that they've acquired, maybe not pieces that they completely want. Maybe they got a piece that's a kind of a filler until they get something that they want. But I just had to throw in this polearm because that polearm really works well with the lightning blue in the shoulders. So I kind of changed that, and I changed also, I think, the boots, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. Love the overall look here. Got a lot of Shadowlands going on, a few pieces from WoD. The belt, of course, is from BFA, and that tabard is a tabard of the Earthen Ring, which spins you all the way back to Cata. So overall, a really, really sharp looking set for survival hunters. You can even make a couple of changes and use it for a shaman. Back to more Luxeley originals, or maybe not. Now, I've done this set before, but I've made a few changes to it. I really like this look overall. I mean, I've had different chests and legs and different weapons, so different cloaks. So yeah, I've definitely done this before, but it's a rendition, and I like to call those flex mods when you have a set that could match with like two or three other sets where you have intertwining pieces. So rather than change a whole set, you save a little bit of gold. Maybe you change the bow, maybe you change the belt and the shoulders, or you change the chest and the legs. And you can mix and match yourself a solid 3 or 4 sets. Call those flex mods. Eventually I'll make a video on flex mods, but like I said in a previous segment, I haven't had a lot of time lately to make videos, let alone even play WoW, even though I do enjoy WoW. I do like Shadowlands quite a bit. Did not like BFA and did not like WoD. Just letting you know. I think I used this set in an MM Hunter PvP video, but I have not shown it as an xmog. Nobody ever said, oh, it's a great set in the thumbnail, but I think it's a cool set. I definitely think it's unique, and it works. It's a lot of gray and a lot of purple, and it looks pretty good on both a Night Elf dude and a human female. And who do you think is going to be next? My guess is that it's going to be a dwarf. I could be wrong, or I could be right. You may be wrong, you may be right. I am right. It is a dwarf. I think it looks pretty darn good on a dwarf too. So that's 3 for 3, doing a spin, showing those wings from the Kyrian. A lot of Kyrian stuff going on here, particularly the legs, the chest, and the back piece. The rest of it is from the last tier of BFA. So that's a pretty cool tier, actually. It's one of the few tiers I've actually liked as far as the looks go from BFA. Otherwise, I don't like BFA xmogs at all. I do believe I did a rendition of this set too, as well in the past, a long time ago in the past. It's very easy to pick up. A lot of these pieces are a drop set from Legion. You're talking the chest, the legs, the boots, and the gloves. And then you got Ma pulling in. Those are shaman pieces on the shoulders and belt. That bow is from Illidan in a place called Black Temple. So got a really good look for hunters here. Very unique look. And of course, those are goggles that are from engineering. I do believe that's I think it's from WoD Engineering. Then there's the dwarf. He's going to do the spin, show you the cloak. Now, the cloak is from Shadowlands. That's from the fairy people, who happen to be in Ardenweald. They're also known as the Night Fae. So overall, hitting the class fantasy here, hitting the overall cool look for hunters, and pretty easy set to get, except for the bow. You might have to grind Black Temple quite a bit in order to get that bow, but it's kind of worth it. Bring a friend who wants the glaives. That simple. Hopefully you guys out there are feeling kind of kind, because yes, this is a duplicate, an exact duplicate from the previous Hunter xmog, which I uploaded almost 3 weeks ago. And the reality is I haven't had the time to put together videos, let alone even play WoW, so hopefully you guys can cut me some slack, because when I put together set 10, it was an exact duplicate of set 4 somehow. I probably didn't have enough caffeine, but I made the same exact set. It wasn't, I don't know what set 10's supposed to be, but we'll probably see it in the next video. So I didn't want to take another 45 minutes to an hour and not upload another video for another day. So I hope people can understand my reasoning here. If you knew what was going on in my personal life right now, I think you definitely cut me some slack. So we're just going to have to go on the trust method here, that I just haven't had the time, and I'm taking a little bit of a shortcut. Hopefully you guys can understand and accept that. If you can't, oh well. It's not like you're paying for this anyway. My name is Luxeley. I want to thank you for stopping by and leave you with one final thought. Wherever it is by you, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, make your day absolutely